Okay, welcome back to Boruto Anime Review, episode number 167. This being the 167th episode of the anime, Their Decision. The episode picks up exactly where last week left off, where Mitsuke is still hopping around in the sage mode, and he lands outside the medical facility that was last seen a few episodes back, where Dr. Himashi, where off-screen she missed his first day, and of course she mentioned before Mitsuke showed up, he was bored. So off-screen, Mitsuke was transported to Orochimaru facility, which we see the facility, we see Orochimaru. Man, it had been a little while since last. I think last time he was seen in the series, last time I heard, I think it was during the parent-child arc was the last time he was seen. Along with Log, like wow, seeing Log again, that was something. For him, it had been such a long time since he popped up in the series. Yeah, been quite some time. And he basically makes a diagnosis that his organs are damaged, he replaced, and it's going to take a while for his cells to regenerate. He says, let's get started. And last see of Mitsuke for the whole episode, he's mentioned a couple times. So, basically, Boruto is carried at the back of Konohamaru, and Sadara was in the back of Midigo. So, they go back to the village, and Sadara is the one waiting for them. So, not Sakura. Sakura is waiting for them, and this episode returned a lot of characters show up in here. But surprisingly, one character does not show up in here at all. Yes. Yeah, for some reason, Chocho is not here. Neither is Shikadai. Where the heck was Team 10 this whole episode? I would think, though, because Shikadai is, in fact, Baruto's best friend, he would check on him. Then he would Chocho being best friend of Sadara, and yet they're nowhere to be seen in this episode, not even mentioned. Previous generation characters in this episode, we see Naruto, Shikamaru, Sai, great to see Sai, Sasuke, Hinata, Suzume, great to see her. Yeah, she does surgery on Sadara, which makes sense because Sakura should not do any surgery on her own daughter, though she does physical damage later. And of course, Sakura does surgery on Boruto, which that makes a lot more sense than her own daughter. And it's nice to see Hinata and Himawari in the episode, but aside for the brief appearance on screen where they're basically seen worrying about, well, Boruto and Sadara, her and Himawari just disappeared from the whole episode. They're mentioned once. And apparently Boruto didn't want to see his own mother and sister for some reason. I don't know why, but Naruto, the way he acted in this episode was completely rational, where he basically is worried that his son got injured, so he basically rushes to see him. And here's the thing, Boruto and Naruto do not speak to each other the whole episode. Like, Naruto sees him, but doesn't speak to him at all. Nope, does not speak to him. And after the surgery, Boruto wakes up and he sees Suzume, and she does basically a good checkup on him. Of course, he's worried. Sakura, of course, does a checkup on Sadara. Of course, her eye is so damaged, but it'll heal up. Now, they have this great scene. We have Konohamaru, Sai, Shikamaru, and Sasuke. Sasuke, for some reason, does not go to the hospital to see his own daughter. He does see her later on in the episode. But I'm like, dude, your daughter was injured, and yet you don't see her in the hospital? What is wrong with you? So, they basically go to be what happened with Dappa, a.k.a. the show's version of Hisoka, and Victor. Though they don't mention the fact that he moves around like he's the third Tazakage. Yeah. And there's hints to the fact, now, it's basically mentioned in the conversation later with Victor and Dappa that these two are part of Kira. Yep, these two are part of Kira. And according to Dappa, he said the reason why that Victor got into the organization was because his company made a huge investment in Kira. That was the reason why for that. And so they do some they're starting to start experimentation on the Hiroshima cell, and that's it for them. So Sasuke's asked if he's heard of these two. He's never heard of this. First time he's ever heard of them. So, like, we did investigate. Of course, he knows the company's located. So he knew this by the book. So basically, Shikamaru makes a contact in the land of valleys, and later on he's seen in Konohamaru's office. This is something strange though when it comes to Joni and their office, because Kakashi was never seen having an office when he was a Jonin. He was always out in the field. You never saw him have an office, a bunch of scrolls like Konohamaru does. Which I thought was kind of weird. Because you probably think that Kakashi, Ashima, Koronai, and Guy may have had their own offices where they're doing work. But they're never seen their office. Their office was never seen. Konohamaru was the first I've seen where he has an actual office. Probably because the reason why he got that office, this is just my personal theory, because he's good friends with Naruto. That's the reason why I got the office where it was. I think it must be like below, like a floor lower than where the Hokage is. So that's probably where it is. That's why the scrolls are there. Probably because he's the grandson of the third Hokage, so he has access to these particular scrolls. So yeah, because Naruto knows he probably has a bunch of secrets because he's from the Shinobi clan, the Saratobi clan. So that's probably the reason why. So, Boruto and Sadaru visit the hospital by Metal Lee, Iwambi, Dekai, and two members of Susumi's team. For some reason, the samurai is not here. Don't know where she is. She's one of several characters absent this episode for no reason. They go visit them. Of course, the boys go visit Boruto. They go visit Sadaru, which I don't have a problem with those two visiting, but where the heck was Chocho? Yes, Sadaru's best friend, yet she's nowhere to be seen in the episode. I'm like, really? Did you forget Chocho's... Was she off on a mission for some reason? I don't know why. It's kind of weird why Team 10 is nowhere to be seen in this episode. I mean, I get why Sasumori is not here, because she's off with sentimental tools, but you don't have the rest of the team here? Like, why in the world only 5 people from the current generation appear in this episode, which makes absolutely no freaking sense at all. So... they, of course, go to the test, and then, of course, they sneak out of the hospital where they meet with Konohamaru and Morogu, which Konohamaru got permission to go land in Vallis, but basically he's there for strict observation only of the medical tech. And him and Morogu go undercover. Boruto and Sadaru meet up with him. They of course, they think, do you want to go? And he says, no, we don't want to go. We're going to stay here and get stronger. And Konohamaru is like, that's a good idea. So... they apparently both Boruto and Sadaru apparently come with the same idea to speak to Sasuke to improve their power. Now, Sasuke obviously agreed to train Sadaru. Of course, so he's like, I can't exactly strengthen your Rasengan. But I happen to know one person beside, and he asks, why doesn't he ask Naruto about it? Because, well, Naruto apparently is busy, apparently he overslept, he slept in the office again. So, that's the reason why he didn't approach him. Because he was busy. So he's like, no, I know one other person knows Rasengan. Which I'm kind of like, how the heck did this character know? Never seen using the whole series, not that I can think of, because the other people who definitely confirmed know how to use the Rasengan in the series are Jiraiya, the 4th Hokage, Minto, Naruto, Boruto, Konohamaru. Sasuke probably knows because he copied it from Naruto. And apparently the only person who knows Rasengan is Kakashi! Oh my gosh, Kakashi! Wow, it's been a little while since I've seen him. And because he was talking about him, the recurrent anime trope is whenever somebody's talking about this particular character, him sneezing. It's like, someone's talking, it's like, I've got bad feeling in my bones. And oh boy, definitely looking forward to next week when he begins his training with Kakashi, which... yeah, that's a good idea, begin training with Kakashi of all people. Well, he knows there's dangerous Rasengan, so why not? I mean, Sasuke can't, but Sasuke now what I can tell anyways, the next episode looks like Sasuke is helping Sadaru improve her Sharingan, which makes perfect sense. He's probably by far the only person who knows how to use the damn thing proper, who can use it and actually train it properly. Kakashi can't because he doesn't have the Sharingan anymore. But this was a great episode, and definitely looking forward to next week's episode. Training begins. Okay, so that's it for single, and this probably is going to be a video today because, unless I get done the last arc for freezing, that's going to be my last video for today. Next part for Naruto probably won't happen until tomorrow at this rate. Okay, see you next video. Bye.